It's like I want it messy, but like I want the hairs out. I want it to be boho, but just not too much. Okay, this will have to do. So as you guys can see, this is my braids bust down. This took me around 3 days, I'm not joking, but then I was stopping and starting and I had to go to work. Don't ask me how I went to work, just know that I had to go there. I'm going to show you guys how I was able to achieve this look. So yeah, we're going to kickstart the first braids of the year with a classic boho style. So basically I tried to use bundles and just cut off the weft and then just use the rest to like braid in my hair, which as you'll see in the video, I was not able to do that because maybe it was just a batch of hair that I got, but the quality was really bad, and it just made braiding the hair hard. If you're going to do this hairstyle, my recommendation is to buy braiding hair because it's thicker and it's so much easier to use when you're adding it into like the impressions, or even if you wanted to do it straight from your hair without any braiding hair, you'd be able to do that. So as you can see, like my edges are on the thinner side, so I just have to be a bit more mindful of that. But anyways, let me show you guys how I was able to achieve this look. So what we're going to do is I've just cut the extensions in half. I'm using impressions, by the way. It's supposed to be a bit better, doesn't tangle. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. The way that I like to kind of feather my hair, I break it up and I just layer it like this. You can see in the mirror. I flip it, keep flipping it, almost like, you know, when you mix colours. But this is really the secret. I brush it out and then it starts to feather. Otherwise you spend so much time feathering it the long way, and you know, when you're braiding your hair you don't have time for that. So this is the length, which is really long. I've just cut it in half like your expressions, but I'm actually going to take off, what's this, 10 inches? No. This will be the length. When I'm doing my hair, I don't want to find hair on the floor. Like, keep a plastic bag next to you, because honestly, like, there's even some stray hairs already. It's annoying me. So for my back hairs, it's a bit thinner. So what that means is I'm not going to do a knotless braid. I'm going to just do a knotted braid. And as you can see, I'm not using any gel. That's because where you have, if you have like thinner hair, the last thing that I would use is like an edge control, because you lose your grip. Unless you have thick hair where there's a lot of product, there's enough hair for the product, then my recommendation is to not use anything and just grip it. Well, apart from like, you know, like a Blue Magic or like some type of oil. And then melt that into your hair, like blow dry it, so your hair is like soft. And then, yeah, I wouldn't even, don't bother with any edge control type of gel or anything that's like that water-based gel. Not when you have like thin hair or finer type of hair. Unless you're laying down your edges, you can kind of get away with like oil and water. just to like shape it and then set it with something else. But otherwise don't bother, just do a knotted braid. My sister used to do my hair. She always would do my hair. Every single braids that I had when I was younger was down to her. One day, one treacherous Sunday, I asked my sister, I said, can you please do my hair? She said, no. I said, huh? She was like, yeah, no. Why? Because I'm tired. I don't want to do your hair anymore, I'm tired. I'm only like 10 or something. Like, come on, do my hair please. She's like, no, get mum till I do it for you. I said, I don't want her to do it, she doesn't know how to do it. She was like, well. And that's when I took the intuition and I learned how to do my hair. All because my sister said no. You can see how thin it is. If I put gel on that, there'd be nothing that the gel holds on to, because it's that thin. Thin or fine? So now we're reaching the end of the braid. It's now 3:50. So a single braid takes around 5 minutes. Wow. Right, this is the back row. I'm going to start layering it because I don't want it to be too long. So I'm using the top of my ear as like a measuring point. So by the time we get here, we would have 4 rows. So because I've got, I mean, I think I have a small head. If I don't have many rows, it will not look full. And I don't want the back to not look full. So I'm going with 4 rows from the top of my ear here. Actually 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And then we can start to measure up. Guys, doing your hair is lonely business. Like, it's me and myself and my music. If you're doing your hair, don't watch shows and do your hair, because you will not finish your hair. Or it'll just take you extra long, because guess what? You're comfortable. I can't believe she used to do my I can't believe she used to sit and do she used to do my hair. God bless sisters, honestly. As tight as possible. Yeah, no, that's not tight enough. Right, so with this, actually, do you know what? I'll start adding more layers to the hair on the second, or the third and fourth row. This is still the second row. I think I'm just going to tackle the back today at least, because essentially I'm going to be doing the mermaid technique, but that's like when we have some hair to really like play with. I'm going to use so I'll be doing the mermaid technique, but with the boho style and in pick and drop, if that makes sense. You'll see what I mean. I'll show you how I had the hair. So far we have done 3 rows. Does it hurt? I would be lying if I said no. So as I start to add more hair, it will start to create some layers. I want it to look bouncy. Yeah, so I don't mind how the back is looking at the moment, because we're going to build on that. So usually what I do is the back and then the front, and I split that into 2. I want to make sure the partings are all equal all the way around. So I'm going to just extend this line to the front, and then I'm going to do the front hairs whilst I'm here. My hair is already like moisturized. Let me show you what I use. I don't use gel in my hair. I literally just use my Blue Magic oil or cream. I make sure it's melted into my hair. Yeah, I braid it in as usual and then continue to braid, and then I wait for it to get to this. Then it gets to like the back. Yeah, it gets to the back. Then I separate it out, continue braiding, braid a bit more, and then find the other piece, because it's usually, it's there somewhere. Leave that out, and then we're going to add some more hair. My pieces of hair are just coming apart. What the hell? Right. Okay, so this is how I add it in. So I add it in like a normal braid. So we're just gonna braid it in. Braid it for a couple times. Then, yeah, once it gets to the back, I'm going to separate the hair, leave it out, braid it some more. Nah, we'll leave that one in. And then now we've got curly end and braided hair. Then we're going to take some hair from the back. I'm going to just loop it around so it's knotted. I'm going to spray some hairspray on it. And then you take your hairdryer and you just glue it. I'm in the middle of doing my hair and I'm getting annoyed. I'm getting annoyed because the hair that I'm using is just not great. It's not up to standard. It's not up to par. My recommendation is, if you are doing boho braids, buy braiding hair. Simply because of this. Guys, I have not had so many problems like this ever. Bear in mind, I don't think it's down to my technique, because I've had no problems braiding the hair, the braiding hair. But when it comes to braiding with these bundles, no. I don't know if it's because I got a bad batch. I don't know if it's because I'm using bundles cutting off the weft, but I'm gonna insert a picture of the bundle when I just washed it. It was freshly washed. You can see the top half of that, the top half of the bundle is thick, right? The bottom half is a bit sparse. So when I washed it and I cut off the weft and then I started to add it into the braids, bro, it was like I could not even grip the hair. I couldn't grip it and I couldn't make it blend. I was getting so frustrated because even like a small piece of hair looks thick enough and it looks wide enough when it was wet. And obviously after it's dried it's going to be fluffy and wavy. No. After it had dried, because it starts off thick and then it gets thinner, even when it was in its like normal state, the hair was still so thin. Right, can you see that? Okay, against this wall, can you see that? Can you see that? Starts off hella thick, dense, and gets super thin. No, I'm telling you, if you are going to do boho braids, buy braiding hair. This is braiding hair from an old bundle, but it's deep curly or deep wave. Yeah, it's deep wave. And obviously the hair that I'm using is body wave. What I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten out this curl so it's not as curly. Then I'm using it because this hair is hella thick. Then I'm just going to add it into the braid, and then at the end I'm going to quickly blow dry, so like get the curls out, because I don't mind the curls, like I like the curls, but just not for this look. I'm going to blow dry these curls out because that's a bit too tight. And yeah, then we'll see, because This is throwing me off course. We are nearly finished. We've nearly finished. Is we separate it into 3. Okay. I'll take my first piece. I tuck it under, align it, and then just continue on the braid. And then I'd get my second piece, and then I grab a 4th piece because we're going to leave this out. I just tuck it in, just add it as normal, add it as a normal piece of hair. Wow. Right. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial slash vlog of me doing my hair, and yeah, I hope to see you guys in my next one. Okay, bye. Braid.